Today at Scrapin, I'm going to take a few other little things off, and I'm going to start to mock up where the steering is going to go when we move it. Right now I just have it loose, as you'll see from the last episode. Front wheels and everything, they're all stock still. Rear transmission's still on. That'll probably come out soon, just to see if there's anything we can reuse in there in the actual build. I have no idea what weight I'm going to be doing with the back. I know this transmission's bad, but right now it's totally locked up. It'll move a little bit, but it's moving a little bit, and that was good, but it's not in good shape. So yeah, for the moment, I'm going to take the steering off as is, because I think my idea so far, and I know you can't really see me because it's a bad angle, but my idea so far is to take this steering and move it somewhere up here. Now, can we do that? Maybe. We're going to find out. So I'm going to take this off and we're going to look at it. And we're not going to actually fabricate anything today, I don't think, but I may mock up what needs to be done here. I have a little bit of metal to work with, but I'm not really sure we even need to do that. We might be able to get away with putting it somewhere in this area. And there's already a pretty good hole cut here. We may just have to extend it if we can put it in this area. So yeah, let's take this off. Let's unhook it from the bottom, and let's see what we can do. Alright, so I believe all these are again 9/16. Yeah, so they're all 9/16. When you're answering to God, you can call me killer. As you look into my eyes. Probably should take this nut off on the bottom side. So let's flip this guy up real quick. It looks like a much smaller nut, so we're going to find out. So basically this is just, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. Let's bring it in for a peek. Not the best angle, but to take the steering shaft off, which goes up here to the front wheel. So it's just a nut, and then you have to hold on this side too. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. This other thing off, the clutch pedal, brake pedal assembly. I never did that. So we will decide. Got little pins in it, so these have to be hammered out. That's all it's holding in, 2 pins, and then the whole thing is free. That's simple. Alright, so these are little pins. It's going to be impossible for me to show you probably, but they basically just bashed a pin through. The option is bash them out or actually, I got that punch from before. Oh, here it is. Oh, there's the hammer. Let's see how I can back it out. Probably use another hammer if I felt like it. You can call me killer, 'cause I'll bring you to the light, and it might taste bitter when you're answering to God. You can call me killer. actually may work for our steering. Huh. Alright, so this off. We'll take these two off.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night, race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll
Take out the front two bolts since they're clear. And it's got a couple brackets, so I'll take out the switch here. A little priority. Could have probably done that one while I got it upside down. I'll take that one off with the bracket. Front two bolts are out. Let's swing this guy. That's it. This guy right here. Right, so basically all this mechanism does is you turn this, turn your wheel, this is the wheel, and then this bar moves side to side. You can see a little better here, but the bar is obviously on the other side. So another one of those things that needs bushings. So I'm going to come up with a solution for bushings. Maybe I'll 3D print out some of those. I have a 3D printer, so that might work for at least temporarily. But that's for another day. So my theory is this is in this way. So something like this. Just like semi, be off-centered a little bit. Something in here. I'll probably have the shaft like this. We'll probably have to make a little bit of an indent. Let's see, one issue with that is we're going to have to figure out, may have to cut out a hole next to the mount, because you see how this comes down. You have it turned all the way. It comes down past it, so that's the first issue. not really that big of an issue in my mind. So, okay. So I need something flat-ish to put them on here so I can make views. So I need something just to put down so I can just temporarily get an idea of how this is going to sit. So this will have to be widened, not a big deal. Cut that out. That's the first thing. So I want it to be something like this. Maybe we'll get some cardboard and make some cutouts because we're going to need to make, we're going to cut this out and we're going to have to make a mount for this to sit on. It's pretty haggard right here, but you get the idea. So let's look at this. Put jack stand on the front just so I can I want the wheels off the ground, so I'll look at this. So my theory here is I'll be able to put this bar up and control, because with it up you don't have anything to worry about. Alright, so you're going to be going the same direction. So if you turn this back, you're going right. Turn this left, you're going to be going, or vice versa, I guess. That's, no, yeah, that's right. Hopefully not moving this too much. So I'm going to take this off from here, because this is going to have to be completely redesigned anyway. Rubber. That's kind of neat. See, these are little like rubber ball joint on here. I didn't know that this was rubber. I thought this was metal. And it's ugly. So we might come up with a better solution for that. Probably. So what I'm thinking is something like it connects right there and goes right up. Something like that. Because you're going to hit. Alright, so my first problem is how far out am I going to have to put this? I think we're going to go out as far as we can. So let's get this thing up. Sorry, something about it like this. Now what that'll do is give you some more room. Maybe something like this. We're gonna go like that and get it up. So what we're gonna do to mock this up does not want to go. So this is going to be hard to see because of what I'm using, but for now, I know it's kind of haggard. But we can make it work. Take this off. It's not working right. We're going to build a plate. Here. We're going to build a plate right here. We're going to cut this out. And we're going to cut this out, probably weld this shut. I may just put a piece of metal over this, I'm not sure. I might cut out, I'll probably cut out circles, weld this shut, grind it over. And we are going to fill in a good section of this. What I might do is I have a piece of metal almost this wide. I'll probably just go straight over. Probably gonna have to get the drill press working. Needs a new cable. So maybe what I'll do is I'll cut this whole piece out and weld a whole brand new piece in. So this is a piece of metal I have handy. And we got these. These are, we got the DeWalt's because they were thicker. I think one of these, one's 80 grit and one is 60 grit. These we'll use to grind all the paint off before we weld everything. But let's look real quick at this. So what I'm thinking, this is actually the same size. I'm thinking we're going to weld this in places, some of this metal. Grind that nice and clean. Cut this off right here. And we'll see. I bet you that'll be strong enough. So that's my idea. And if you look, lines up perfectly, really. So that's the plan. So what I'm going to do, I am going to, like I said, ignore my haggardness of this. This will be an idea. Cardboard is always a good thing. I'm trying to just make up the design. You can usually just use the cardboard and cut it out, and that'll be the exact piece you need. So what I'm going to do is I am over here, mark this piece. As best as we can. Like I said, this won't need to be perfect because it's going to be welded in anyway. You just need a place to make sure. So this piece is going to get removed. this piece is going to get removed. Move this like this. Alright. And then I'll find out where this lines up. We'll grind this side a little bit because we're going to weld this directly onto there. So this needs to be ground down, sort of like a V. Alright, so this is the plan so far. Let's go with this. I know it's going to be hard to see, but here's what I'll do. Tape the pieces that we're saving. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut right here, and I know it's not perfect, and we're going to cut this out. So this will give us our swing for this arm right here. We may have to decide if this needs to be changed a little bit after, but the swing over here is somewhere around the same distance. I don't have a tape measure right with me, but so it's going to be that long. Yeah, it's going to actually be almost exactly the same length. The only problem could be is you have a piece of metal here. So if it hits there, it may just limit the steering on one side. So I'm not too worried about that. So we're cutting this out, and we'll cut it straight. I know this line isn't perfect. Cut this out. Grind this down so you get good penetration when you weld it, and sand all this down. And just so you know, all we have is a flux core welder, so for the moment, so that's what we're gonna have to use. And yeah, so that's about that. And so I gotta make the piece, I gotta make this piece almost exactly that distance out of this. So I'm gonna mock that up real quick, and then I gotta fix the power cable on that drill press that never gets used. So then we'll be drilling through these to make the 4 holes. I will double check that it lines up with that, and yeah, then we'll do all this. So anyway, that's about it for today. We only really got to the mocking everything up, taking off a couple things. So in the next episode, we will be cutting all this out, welding it up, and yeah, so stay tuned for that. I'll show you how to make all these parts. It's going to take some time. All these parts, it's one piece of metal, but you know, there's going to be a hell of a lot more. But for now, it's one piece of metal that needs to be done, and we need to cut the steering shaft, but I'm a little hesitant to do any of that until I get the steering in place, because you know, you want it to be right. So we will see you on the next one. Like, subscribe. If you have any comments, let us know. Yeah, so follow us on Instagram, Twitter at Carsmino, GarageMino, whatever it's called. So we'll see you in the next one. Adios.